2025, why India can't make as much as revenue from the industries like manufacture, IT, agriculture, as much as it makes from liquor sales. Why alcohol is still the government's biggest cash machine. To answer all this, we need to go back in history how liquor was introduced into India, how the government banned it, revived it, and finally built an economy around it. And also, unlike other countries, why India still struggles to earn revenue from property tax, income tax, and manufactures, and heavily depends on alcohol sales. Alcohol in India is not new. British colonial rulers introduced liquor shops and excise duty in the 19th century to fund their administration. In the British era, alcohol was never seen as a curse. Why? Because for them, alcohol was culture. A glass of beer, a toast of wine was social and even respectable. But for Indians, the story was opposite. Most of the Indians were daily wages workers and farmers. One night of drinking meant no food for the family, violence at home, death in the market. For Indians, it was drinking was not lifestyle, it was destruction. That is why British saw revenue, India saw ruin. The Raj expanded the liquor shops across towns and villages because every bottle sold meant more tax collected. But leaders like Gandhiji raised their voice. He said, true freedom only from the British and also from the poison that weakens our society. So for Indians, alcohol was never just about drinking, it was about saving families, protecting culture, and finding true freedom. After independence in 1947, India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru led the country. The new government had to decide how to handle alcohol. Inspired by Gandhiji, the central government encouraged prohibition, but the constitution gave each state the responsibility. This was written in Article 47. The state shall endeavor to bring about prohibition of intoxicating drinks. Following this, many states imposed prohibition in the 1950s. Over time, some states lifted the ban, while a few still remain dry even today. Gujarat, Bihar, Nagaland, and Mizoram. For most states, alcohol became a state-controlled source of revenue, while central focused on broader policy guidance. By the 1970s and 80s, most of the states lifted the prohibition. They realized alcohol was the easiest way to earn money without any political backlash. In early 1950s, C. Rajagopalachari introduced prohibition and banned alcohol across Tamil Nadu. In late 1970s, Dr. MGR, during his term as Chief Minister, he also imposed prohibition for a short period of time and later lifted it, and in 1983 introduced TASMAC, a state-run monopoly to manage all liquor shops. Kalaignar M. Karunanidhi, during his term as Chief Minister, temporarily prohibited alcohol but eventually lifted the ban and continuing the state-controlled liquor policy under TASMAC. Purachi Talavi J. Jayalalitha, in her term as Chief Minister, also imposed prohibition of alcohol for some time but later allowed state-controlled liquor sales, keeping TASMAC as the main distributor. Today, liquor is one of the biggest source of revenue for the state governments across India. In Tamil Nadu, TASMAC alone brings 35,000 crores annually. In Karnataka, the state-controlled liquor sales generates more than 25,000 crores annually. In Kerala, Maharashtra, Punjab also earns huge form of revenue from alcohol sales through excise duty and state taxes. Liquor outlets are strategically spread across cities and towns from metro areas to smaller towns and rural regions, placement near bus stands and markets and high traffic areas to ensure maximum sales and easy collection of taxes. But in other countries, government earns from multiple industries. In the USA, taxes are from income, property, sales, and corporate profits, not just liquor. In Germany, alcohol is taxed, but industries, manufacturing, and service sectors contribute heavily to government revenue. Japan collects revenue from IT, electronics, automotive, and property taxes alongside liquor, reducing dependence on alcohol. But why can't India earn the same from IT, agriculture, or manufacturing? The reasons are over 80% of jobs are informal, so most income gets untaxed. Agriculture, India's biggest sector, is largely tax-free. Property tax and wealth tax are collected weekly. GST does not apply to alcohol, so the state keeps 100% of liquor taxes and excise duty. This is why liquor continues to be the ATM of most of the state governments, while other countries successfully diversifying their revenue across multiple sectors. Even in 2025, government promises small welfare benefits and support schemes, but behind every freebie, there is an alcohol encounter. Other industries grow, much of their revenue goes to the central, so the state rely on liquor because it is the one industry where the money flows directly, daily, and endlessly. That is why in India, liquor and politics will always remain linked. India is now the largest whiskey consumers in the world, showing how alcohol is deeply tied to politics and state revenue. But can we break this vicious cycle? How can states earn from the other industries and reduce dependence on alcohol? Share your thoughts in the comment section. How do you think India can get out of this cycle? So, the next time when you pass a liquor shop, remember you're not just seeing liquor sales, you're seeing the foundation of India's state economy.